Hello friends, I'm Judith Henry, and I'm here today to show you my 2020 Christmas pop-up card. This card is called a platform card. It has 3 platforms in it that pop up at different levels. The first level is called a floating platform. It doesn't have any sides, so you can do embellishments underneath it. Sometimes the kids like to pull this back and forth. It makes the whole diorama change places. The second platform is the moon in the center, and the third platform is this ring. And this ring is the same ring that I used when I created my last year's Christmas card, the Christmas wreath. The front cover is embellished with pieces that were left over from what I used inside. It actually comes with just the 4 little Christmas trees, which in itself is pretty, along with the stitching around the sides. I added a little embellishment to the back just for fun. So let's get started putting this card together. It's a 5x7 card. Fits into an envelope so you can mail it off. Merry Christmas. I wanted to show you my color palette because it is one of the things that is most important to pick out, because different colors will look differently in your project depending on the colors you use. And so I tried making different ones using darker colors and lighter colors, and I ended up with a lot of little pieces that I can use. But the dark colors didn't look really well with it. Winter colors are, a lot of it is pastels. Wanting a punch, I was thinking a dark green, yet I didn't like the way it looked. So here is the backdrop that we're going to make to lay as a platform. As you can see, I used this color and I used this color, and I used the dark green on this one. And what I found was I like the texture of the AC cardstock best. And when you put that up against the different colors, it certainly does make a difference in the feel. So pastel colors are what I'm going to use. This house is that color. This house is the gray. Those are the 2 basics that I'm going to use in this project. These I'm eliminating because they were just way too dark, and the green is not a blue enough green to go with it, and I really do like this. It's more of a country color scheme. But to give you the idea, these 2 are what I chose for my buildings. This green is what I chose for the vegetation. The blue is what I chose for the cover. This taupe is going to be the backdrop. It's not a bright white, it's just a cream white. Actually, I think it's a gray. It's going to be the sky color, and then the light blue is going to be the halo around the moon. Now, as you notice, the moon that I have cut out is from a iridescent cardstock. This is also an iridescent cardstock, but the snowflakes are from that. Santa is from that. And I just have this white down so that you can see the difference between that and how it's going to look on the back and in this color palette.
Let's assemble the cover now. The cover is a flat spine with 2 folds. This gives the card room for the card to fold flat with all the layers inside of it. I've embellished the cover with leftover pieces not used inside the card. The 4 tree cutouts and the cover will show the base color, which is a light gray, green, blue. The floating platform buildings and trees have their edges distressed. The platform also has its edge distressed. There are several buildings that have backing on the platform, which you can add others, such as I did with adding the tree. The halo platform has a slight distress. The snowflakes and sleigh scene are overlapped like the buildings on the floating platform, and others if you wish to put on it. The moon has a centerfold and was cut from the same cardstock as a snowflake and the floating platform. The floating platform has 2 support mechanisms for each side. It is basically 2 boxes that will be glued to the platform in the base. They are 5-sided with 2 glue ends together so that you can glue the ends together. Using white adhesive form a strong permanent bond. I like using this adhesive with a narrow tip on it. As you can see, I can put glue on it and then use the tip as a way to spread the glue around. The next piece that we're going to put together is the main base mechanism, which controls all the layers. Both sides are assembled the same way. The first fold is the center post of the mechanism. There is a small fold at the bottom end which holds the floating platform. And then the circle fold holds the halo, and it has an end that has a post very similar to what we will put on the floating mechanism. The first fold extends a ring out over the base. The long tab on the side is similar to the floating box support. In all of these mechanisms, we're using the find the natural position where they will be placed on the board on the back. So the center post has a little box underneath it. That is where the moon is going to be attached. And then the ring has a taller post. It's actually a rectangle, but it's the same concept as what we did on the floating mechanism, except it's at the very edge of the ring. Notice it folds inside. Once both sides are folded together, the second side is the same as the first side. Once they're folded together and assembled, they will be glued together at the center post. Once assembled, the two base pieces are adhesive glued along the edge fold. I'm using score tape here, which makes it strong and easy to line up. Note there are 3 places the glue must be glued. So I missed the other piece on the end. You'll notice I added later in the video. But the centerpiece is I fold over the edge. That way I can start lining things up and then just basically pull that little tab that's standing there, and it makes it very easy for everything to line up straight. Okay, let's find those folds. There's one piece that needs to go. And that's the platform. And that is the moon. And I need a tiny piece in there. Okay. So now we've got all the pieces in place, glued together. It's time to put it inside the folder. Notice that I'm putting each little piece edge now in those slots. It makes it so that the inside and the front cover doesn't need to be glued together, which makes it so it opens and closes a lot easier. Now all we have left to do is to place each platform piece and attach it to their supports. We will start with the moon, folded it in half. Notice that I put it in and glue only one side at one time, and then we glue it by folding the card so that it finds its natural position. That prevents it from buckling in the middle. Okay, so it's attached to the one side, folded over, and glued. And we do the same thing with the floating platform. It's just a very small center post, but again, we put it in there and we can line it up and we fold over so it finds its natural position. And now those tiny little boxes that we made before, they go underneath the platform. You can put them anywhere that you want to. I put mine along the edge, but it's away from the side edge so that it gives it that feeling that it's just kind of floating in the air. Notice we do one side at a time so it finds its natural position, folding it down. And they're folded towards the center. And now you do the other side. Make sure you have enough glue around the edges. Fold it towards the center. Oops, I folded it the wrong way. Well, this is a good example of see how mistakes are made. When I open it now, it's not going to open properly. So I'm going to show you how I fixed it. Oh dear, let's lift that up. Push it down. There we go. All the pieces fit once you get them in the right position and in the layer. Right now I'm having some problems with it catching on the halo, but it doesn't after it's all the pieces are together. Alright, let's put the last piece on, which is the halo. I'm looking to see where to fold it. There are fold lines that you can score beforehand. Fold it one direction. Make sure you get the reins fold too, because those will buckle up inside when you open it up. Lots of glue goes on around here. And once again, we fold it in half when we're placing it. Get it in a good position. Lay it down. And when you open it up, you have your halo around the moon. Santa's flying through the air, and the houses are down below. All that's left to do now is to add a few more embellishments to finish your diorama. And don't forget, you can have another layer of pieces tucked under the floating platforms. So you've got your snowflakes to put on. You can put on other trees and houses underneath. And your platform looks very festive. So I thank you for watching my video as we come to the end, and hope that you have a fun time putting together this card, knowing that it's not that difficult, and have a Merry Christmas.